So what should I wear?
Oh, you can wear this. I think it's weird.
Wait, only one person? You have like a little thread under your eye.
Okay, so
Is it recording?
yes, it is. Okay. Hi guys, and welcome to another special episode. As you can see, I'm joined by the one and only Truly Knits, aka Chelsea,
In my home.
in her bedroom slash room slash headquarter,
Writing studio.
knitting,
Craft room.
she shed.
Closet. Has a lot of names.
Yeah. And so I'm visiting the Pacific Northwest, as you could probably tell by my spamming content on Instagram.
She do be doing that.
I was doing that. I'm still doing that. I just want to hold on to all the memories, and by posting them, I also get to look back at them. And so the feedback so far has been like people also like looking at the stuff and wishing us a nice trip, which is coming to an end very early tomorrow morning, which we're still not realizing completely, but like,
Is it coming to an end?
I don't know.
It might not be.
It's just
It's a far off thought.
yeah. But we wanted to take the time today, which is Thursday the 10th of August, to film another video. We already filmed one video for Chelsea's channel, which is a haul, kind of like show and tell.
Yeah, vlog show and tell.
From our experience.
Which is the reason you're here.
Yeah, that was the reason we, like, in the first place, we were like, maybe you should come to vlog. And then we made a whole trip out of it.
Yup.
We went to the Olympic Peninsula for a couple of days, did a road trip, but we've also been spending a lot of time on this couch watching knitting podcasts too.
Yeah,
our
which
favorites.
was kind of like what I was most looking forward to about
too.
you coming.
Yeah.
Just like sitting, knitting, chilling, and watching all the same videos that we watch
usually.
on our own usually.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
And so we also started a project together, which is what we're both working on right now. This is the back side of the...
I'm in the middle of my row, so here.
This is going to be the terrazzo neck by Petite Knit. Maybe I'll show you a bit closer up. I have no idea how this video is going to turn out because, as you maybe know, I'm filming on my iPhone, so it's always kind of a bit of a...
And not the selfie way.
No. We want the good quality, so...
I can see us a little bit in my TV.
I think it's
but not
okay.
very much.
Are we centered? Do you need to scooch in a little?
I don't know.
I think it's okay. So we're doing this in the Aragon colorway by Long Dog Yarns Fibers.
Long Dog Yarn.
Yeah, she did a collection, one collection to rule them all. She did a kind of like monthly club, which
Last
Chelsea,
year.
yeah, you got onto in March or something.
Yeah. Inspired by The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. And so Chelsea has all of the colorways, and then there was two pre-orders again this year.
Because the first one sold out so fast.
Yeah. And so we got onto that, inspired by Chelsea. She also, I wanted some of the colorways, so she pre-ordered some for me, and then
to my house, so they would be here when she arrived.
There was a lot of yarn here when I arrived.
A few different places.
Yeah, I did order a couple of things, and so they weren't as easy to get in Germany, or like the shipping would have been more. And because I knew I was coming, my suitcase is like 50% yarn. You guys, I'm gonna film a haul, kind of like a US haul, when I'm back in Germany, and you can look forward to that if you are into like yarn acquisition.
I will be looking forward to that, even though I already know everything.
Yeah. And so we filmed the video for Chelsea's channel. We're filming this kind of like Q&A, knit and chat today. I mean, I'm so in the like moderation zone right now that I'm not able to also knit at the same time, but that's okay. And then I have 3 more videos coming up. I have no idea.
They're not planned?
No, I have no idea like in which order they're coming up. But this morning when you were on the phone, I was
doing some
editing.
plotting.
I was editing. Yeah. So I have like a
like 2 vlogs.
So 2 vlogs, one for like the first week Pacific. I always want to say Pacific Peninsula, but it's Olympic Peninsula.
Yep.
So like our road trip, I have a video for that, which was kind of like the first week.
Yep.
And then I have a vlog, and then maybe some more like clips for the last week. I don't know. And then I did do some pre-trip filming, like what I packed. Oh, yeah. And I was looking at that footage today, and I just realized that so many things have changed. And I'm thinking about doing another video where I like reflect on what I thought.
Oh yeah.
Like,
or maybe you just
before.
put them in the same.
Maybe it's already like an hour.
I'd watch
though. Are you guys watching it? Give me some feedback. Like, what kind of video length is ideal for you guys? Because we're like, today Nitty Natty posted a 1 hour 14 minutes video, and we're like,
why isn't it 2?
Why
I was like, did you say an hour 14 or an hour 40?
Because that's more like her. So yeah, we're watching a lot of Nitty Natty. We watched Neenits. We kind of came up with a chant. It's like, she's a sport team to us, kind of like our...
She's been like our obsession on this trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been
She's
chanting your name all over the Pacific Northwest. Sorry. You can cut that out.
No, I'm gonna leave it in. She needs to know that she's a very good podcaster. Yeah. She has such a great way of podcasting. But then we also watched a lot of kahilah, kalilah, so some copy doll content. We watched, what did we watch?
We watched Anna, APT Atelier.
We did that.
She had a new video.
Yeah.
I didn't watch like a ton, but
no.
The heavy hitters.
Yeah, we were out most of the time, so every time we came in, we wanted to watch the Lord of the Rings and some of like the classic like films that we've like bonded over, or mostly Chelsea suggested me watching, then I watched it, and then we bonded over them. But like I had already done Sleepless in Seattle on my way here on the plane, so I had gotten that out of my system. It was so approved. But yeah, so we only watched 1 movie so far.
Right. I had her watch Ice Princess, which was really important and kind of inspired by Ari's knits. Ari knits, because she figure skates.
Yeah, like, we're so inspired by that.
We should watch Ice Princess.
Oh yeah, we watched her too. Her vlog.
Oh yeah, we did. We watched her.
She was one of the first people to upload.
Yeah.
But maybe let's get into the questions. Because we got so many good ones. Like there is 3 like pages of questions. I actually got a iPad on this trip, which is for content creation too. I wanted something to have my patterns on to be able to look at them more easily, because like although I have quite a big phone, I think like smartphones get so big too like now, but also it's still quite a...
I mean, we had a film on it, so
yeah, and so we can like, I feel so professional right now. Should we start with the first question that we got?
Sure.
It's actually from Hannah. It's also a mutual knitting friend. And she asked, do you think you'll design or self-draft a garment or pattern at some point? And we already like read through some of the questions, and your response was,
heck no.
Yeah.
When it comes to knitting anyway, I was thinking more about it, and like crocheting, I can definitely just like whip something up like if I want to, but I think in terms of knitting, I don't really have a desire to make patterns, and I feel like what's out there I'm happy with so far.
There is so much out there.
And I mean, maybe I would if I was like making something, but I don't think at this time in my life I'd ever make a pattern to like release to the public. You know what I mean? Because that's a whole other ball game.
So I feel like, she got me into baseball too. So I'm now a Mariners. I can't say it.
You said it perfectly.
Mariners fan.
Yep.
So I think I'm adjusting a lot in like already existing patterns. That's something that I feel quite comfortable with now, like that modifying. That is something that I do. But like self-draft a garment, like you said, I think everything, like there's more than I could ever knit in my life out there that I think is gorgeous. Amen. And then some. So I feel like my queue is so long. I want to stick to patterns because it doesn't need, like, it requires as much, like, capacity, like, thinking about it.
Patterns take enough mental capacity.
Yeah, right. Like, reading it in the right way and, like, understanding it the right way. So I think it's a brilliant question, and I feel like there's already so many great designers out there. Like, just at Flock, we met 3-4 people that were like, I'm like, what are you wearing? This is so great. And they're like, I designed it. And I'm like, that is so cool.
Yeah.
But like, there's so many great patterns out there. So for me, it would also be a heck no.
And this something point, I have a passion for right now.
No.
Yeah.
But like, things might change.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll never say never, but
yeah,
we'll see.
And so another question comes from, am I going to read out the names? I just think no, we'll just do it when there's like a person that we have a personal connection with. Okay, so the next question is every free minute of your time spent on the needles, or does it go with ups and downs? I feel like yes and yes.
Yeah, we kind of divided this question into like on the trip specifically, or just in general in everyday life.
So on the trip, obviously, Chelsea was the designated driver. I was the designated passenger princess. So
we did a lot of driving.
By that, you can see why I'm a little ahead.
Just a bit.
Yeah, I had the absolute luxury of just being able to sit beside Chelsea for a lot of hours. Sing along. We did a lot of singing along on the trip. But like also I took a couple of naps. And then I did a lot of knitting. So yeah, for me, I feel like I had more time too. And then I was drawn towards my needles. But also I sometimes can get some pain, which there's another question about that in here. So I'm not going to go into too much detail. So I'm very wary of taking enough breaks with my knitting. So I don't get like chronic pain. Because I've gotten that from like writing, when I was writing my bachelor and master thesis, I was getting it like here from typing. Yeah, so I'm prone to that. So yeah, and like, so for you on the trip, it was like,
I did not spend much of my free time knitting. I have a record number. I hope you all are sitting down, of 10 whips right now. I feel a little embarrassed admitting that. But I'm at a place with all of them that it's not an easy pickup. This is like the easiest thing I have right now, and I have to do twisted rib all the time. So all of them, I was kind of at a point where I had to do the next technique, and I just was not feeling it. And so it's been great having Marlene here, because she helped encourage me to like, you know, you need to try this on so you can start the next thing, or you need to pick up those stitches in a nice way. And so I've done like a little bit of knitting, but also like, you know, driving is very taxing. And so I've like just kind of crashed a lot when we've gotten home or gotten to the next place. And so I haven't done as much free time knitting as she has, for sure. And yeah, in my like everyday, knitting is like 50% of my creative time. The other time I'm usually writing if I'm doing something creative. So yeah, not every free minute, but a chunk.
Yeah. And I'd say that's similar for me. Like I enjoy going to the gym. I enjoy baking and cooking a lot. So I'm always having to decide between knitting and other stuff I enjoy doing. For example, like gardening has taken how do you say that, like a backseat this summer, because I'm more into knitting. And everything else, I'm just trying to combine the things. So like watching series, watching movies, I've trained myself to be able to knit while doing that. Even knitting while reading sometimes is an option, but also sometimes you just want to focus on that one thing. And so I feel like I'm getting some hours of knitting in most days. I've even sometimes gotten up to like before work to knit. You've done that too. Yeah. It depends on what I do. If I'm like staying in my home, doing like working from home, the day is easier because I'm not like having to get on a bus and like going up to work.
Get ready, commute.
Oh, like I skip the whole getting ready. I'll just brush my teeth, wash my face
When you go to work?
when I stay at home.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
one, like,
Saves time.
and so
I guess I would say, yeah, it goes with ups and downs.
yeah, it does. And
But
with
her more than I think you knit a lot more than I do.
I mean, I'll try to get it. And I've not hit like a period in my life so far where I was like, I don't feel like knitting.
I have.
Since like really getting into it like a year ago.
Yeah.
I mean, we both like really fell in love with it at a similar point in time.
Yeah.
I've just started a couple of years earlier, but like only did 2-3 hats and two very long sweater projects that
Right.
were mostly just kind of like motivated by my friend who taught me. She always had to come downstairs. We're living in the same building, and she's like, "What's next? Like, how can I help you?" I'm like, "I dropped
Keep
this
going.
stitch." Yeah, it took a lot to stay motivated in the beginning. So yeah, next question. We are taking a long time to answer these questions. I hope you're interested in that, but like,
at least we know the 40 people who submitted questions will be interested.
Oh yeah,
in it.
and we're gonna watch it
Oh,
again. If we're missing each other like throughout the next year of not seeing each other in person, we can just rewatch them. Okay. Do you want to read out the next one?
Sure. How was your meeting in the United States? It was great. It was at like 9 or 10 p.m. I think. I picked her up from the airport, and traffic was a little crazy, and I was like a little bit behind schedule, so it was a little hectic. But once I found her at the little arrivals pickup, it was like, I don't know, it felt normal. We'd like talk so long on Facebook. We're not that old. We talked so much on FaceTime.
Yeah.
I felt like I pretty much already knew what it would be like to hang out with you.
Yeah.
She was like 2 inches taller than I expected. That's all. That's pretty much the only difference. And yeah, so it felt like it was very joyful for sure.
Yeah.
We were excited to get the trip going. She was like very tired.
Oh, 26 hours of traveling. I was like,
she was a little bit
sleep.
delirious.
I was.
Yeah.
And it just got worse each day, like driving home, because we're
in a good way though.
Yeah.
Funny way.
I kind of like laughed. How do you say like? Yeah.
Snort laughed.
Like snort laughed, cry laughed a lot of times. Just like reading out signs that we drove past. Yeah. I'm like, taco time. I could not like. Yeah, the first couple of days I was struggling with jet lag a bit, but like, yeah, I would say the meeting would have been better if we didn't have to like drive out of the like very precarious parking situation, because she only could like, we were getting my stuff in the car, we hugged each other, put my stuff in the car, got in the car, and like drove off immediately. So there wasn't like time to like.
There's like an awkward like hesitation where like we have to be silent because I have to like figure out how to do traffic and make sure I'm going the right way to the highway. So that would have been like more ideal to just like
have a moment and sit
chat
down
for a minute. Yeah. But airports are not like that. They're not the place to be doing that.
No. Then we got to Chelsea's home, and yeah, we chatted for a while, but like I had to get
to bed like pretty quick. It was by midnight, I think. Because
we wanted to get up the next day. The next day was like the
big plans.
Yeah, already going out. So yeah,
it was great.
I'd say it was great. Do you want to read out the next one too?
How did you get into knitting? I started crocheting when I read Sutton Foster's memoir, Hooked. I did it a little bit in high school, but I remembered how to do it after I read that memoir. And I started crocheting a ton. And then when the Copy Dolls started knitting, I was watching all their crochet vlogs by that point. I was like, if they can do it, I can do it. So then I started knitting because of them. And that was like a year and a half ago. I think I started a little bit after them. But like once I found their videos and got to when they started knitting, I was like, okay, I can do that. So that's how I got into knitting.
Yeah, like I said, I met my friend Lydia in the hallway of our apartment building.
That's so cosmic.
Yeah. She was a influencer at the time already. She'd been doing that for a couple of years. So I
like lifestyle or knitting?
Or kind of mostly lifestyle. Okay. And like, yeah. but she had started knitting, I don't know, like a year before that. Yeah, I feel like she had started knitting a year before that, around that time. And so I had heard of her, but like I didn't know she was, I mean, I'd seen her in the hallway, but like I didn't know she was living like a couple of stories above my like one room studio apartment. And so we started talking. Like an hour later, we're both sitting on the stairs, like looking at each other through the staircase and like still chatting. So that was a pretty nice starting a friendship moment.
Memory.
Yeah, and she was like, do you knit? Like I do not remember how it all started, but we got into like,
I mean,
we
if
got
you're
chatting
talking that long, you'd get to it.
at some point. She was like, oh yeah, knitting, blah blah blah. I always mistook it. So the first couple of times she tried to teach me, I always, in my stories, I was writing trying sewing, and like I was not able to differentiate between the two.
That is so cute.
Yeah, so I was not a knitter. I didn't know how to knit when I was a child. I think I've done some sewing and like some hand stitching. I loved being a crafty as a child. My mom was like DIY and crafting a lot with us, so we did like window colors. We did all the stuff, but no knitting, no crochet. And so I learned about, I would say 3 years ago, from my friend Lydia. She's called Lydia Rababa. She also started a podcast, but she hasn't uploaded in a while. But she talks about her knitting on her Instagram, so you can check her out there. I mean, I've been talking about her so much, so you probably already know about her. But yeah, she taught me, and it was very difficult in the beginning because I do not have a very high tolerance for frustration.
You don't.
I don't.
I've learned that about you.
Yeah, I get frustrated with myself quite easily. So, but yeah, it just took a couple of years. And like the first project, she was like, she knew what I liked, so she chose my yarn for me. She told me
mohair, right?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't the easiest project, so in hindsight we should have picked another yarn, but like she pretty much just, from what she liked to knit, she told me what to do, and I was just glad for that.
For
like,
the ride.
She taught me about needles. I just got the same needles that she had, so yeah, that was very inspired by her. So yeah, props to you for making me a crazy knitting person.
And here we are.
Here we are. Look what like started the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And the next question is, how did you two become friends? Which I guess
we've been talking about that so much because of all the people we met at Flock.
Yeah.
We're like, how'd you two become friends? So
I feel like
we've got it down pat.
Yeah.
She mentioned me in one of her first podcast videos, and so I got a little notification like, Marlene Knits mentioned you, and so I went and watched it, and I was like, her aesthetic is sublime, and so I started watching her videos, and then followed her on Instagram, and we started DMing, and then a couple months, I feel like, you asked me to do a yarn swap, and because you had seen it on Crayabea, I think.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'll pick a bunch of easy to get yarns in America, she'll pick a bunch of yarns that are easy to get in Europe, and kind of like with this element of surprise, like we didn't know what each other was picking out, so it was kind of a fun little package swap. And so once we started planning that and like exchanging information with each other, like addresses and things, we started like FaceTiming and talking more, and then I feel like through our FaceTimes mostly is where we like developed our friendship.
Yeah, because we got to know each other more, and like schedule next calls. I feel like if you know you want to see the other person again, like talk to them again and like suggest talking again, it's like if that's mutual, and like if you have mutual interests, and like I think there's a question in here that is like pointing to that direction. I feel like that's always a great start to like take off from, if like you have similar interests and also similar
but
things.
You do have to kind of put yourself out there, like,
oh, you do.
You like, she wrote me a message like, would you want to do a yarn swap, like no pressure, like, so it's not always easy, but because I could have been like, no thank you, and like that would have been it, you know, like sometimes that happens, but I don't know,
that would have been okay too, like if you didn't want to do it, and from my point of like view, I didn't want to come off as someone just like being weird, and like not to say that like people watching someone texting them is weird, but like that was like a very much more personal next level to suggest like moving to without knowing each other before. Like we didn't know each other before very well, and I always like appreciate people texting or like putting out questions or like asking me about stuff or like telling me about them. Like I enjoy that so much about vlog, getting to know people that actually like watch these videos so much, but like also there's only so much time in a day, and like so many people that you can actually form a very close connection with, and like also really like look after these people and like nourish these friendships and like get deeper bonds with. It'll only happen in like a couple of times. Like you can't have hundreds and hundreds
rare.
of close friends, because like I can't be flying around the planet, even though I would love to do that.
Oh yeah, maybe someday.
Yeah. And I guess we became different kind of friends through this trip too, because like I'm in your home, you're hosting me, we're spending
like my everyday life, and I mean your everyday life too. Like
we're spending like a lot of hours each day with each other. I think the only times we're separate is when we're sleeping.
Yep.
And like
That's
I don't know, in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we gotten to know each other more closely through this trip, and I would say we became closer friends.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean, inevitably.
Imagine you're like,
I don't feel the same.
no. Yeah. So next question. Which podcast do you watch regularly? And did you get new podcast channel inspo at vlog? I mean, yeah, we did already mention some of the podcasts we enjoy watching too. I always feel like I will forget someone and I will feel terrible about it.
Yes.
In my first, like, I would say couple, maybe like 5-6 podcasts, I always kind of like recommended people at the end. I always like to find new people, but also I feel like I will not be able to watch all of the weekly
there are so many
episodes. So we found a couple of new like podcasts at vlog, that's for sure. So for example, we met Emily. She is the botanical knitter. She's also pretty new to vlogging. We ran into Nayla, who also follows both of our channels already. She has a knitting podcast too, I think. So we'll check her out after. I mean, I think everything has to calm down again. We kind of like go back to our regular lives to be. I mean, we watched a couple of podcasts, but like on a chill Saturday, I can watch like 10 videos on my own.
Yeah.
So I get through more stuff. I met Ariel from Aries Knits. I was already regularly watching her.
She was new to me though.
You discovered her through that. Who else?
We're trying to get Naomi to start one.
Oh yeah, we met Naomi. We
I
both
think it's
adore her.
omi.knits on Instagram.
Yeah,
Omi
she
knits.
wasn't sure if she should make a knitting Instagram.
Right,
and
but we got her to do that.
Yeah.
So knitting podcast is next.
Yeah. And so I feel like we will forget a lot of people, but like, should we try to name a couple that we also enjoy, which we haven't watched while I was here because they didn't upload maybe. So there's Hannah
from Pages and Pearls.
Yeah.
Popsicle Frog, Brook. She just posted a new video after a while.
Yeah.
Love her.
I'm just going into my YouTube because I am not good at remembering stuff. Oh yeah, Will of Knits. It's always a good. What's her? Bethany from Will of Knits. Then there's Florence, so Handmade by Florence. I enjoy watching her. I love watching Laura Penrose vlogs and like knitting related videos. Two girls that I've actually been following on Instagram for a while. I love their aesthetic. They're twins and they just came up with a podcast that's called Those Twins Who Knit. I really
just told me about them.
Yeah, I really enjoy watching them. They have sublime aesthetics, so they knit a lot of stuff that you would also really like, I think. I mean, when Kika comes out with YouTube videos, I always enjoy watching them. The Woolly Worker, I quite enjoy watching. I think she has a very like informative videos. She goes into quite a lot of detail about her projects, and I think you can learn a lot from her. I do regularly watch Andrea Maury's Friday uploads. I just think there might be like questions coming up that I will run into eventually, so I find them to be very just nice, relaxed, but also informative. Yeah, I think there is so many more. I feel like I cannot go through all of them. We've already named the copy dolls and Nitty Natty. I just feel like maybe you wanna.
Yeah, you watch a lot more than I do.
Tiffany, the Typical Bliss. Oh, Svenja knits. I adore her. She is so nice too. I really like watching her videos. I think she might also have like a German background, but she lives in the US. Yeah. I am for sure forgetting someone. You have anything?
Yeah, I really like also Sweater and Spice. She's been one of my favorites to watch. I love Knitted by Whitney. I watch Alexandra's Garn, I love. And
Rebecca Creabea.
That's pretty much all. I watch.
I mean,
like
Knee-knits.
5. So
yeah,
but yeah, Knee-knits for sure.
Yeah, and we met a couple of new people, but like I said, we have not been able to watch all of the videos yet, but we'll
looking forward to it.
We're getting into them, like just yeah. Next question is, can't wait to see the episode. Hope you're
thumbs up.
You're seeing it right now, I hope. And question is, what's your plan for pre-fall knitting project?
We've been talking about this so much.
We've been planning a ton. No one's gonna get that.
Yeah, because you're probably not gonna put the meme in there.
We have to, but it's like a long one. Okay, if you want to get this, you should watch Chelsea's video, because she got me hooked on this donut kid, and he's the cutest.
There is a tool.
It's just my favorite video.
Yeah.
Okay, what are your pre-fall knitting? What's your plan for your pre-fall knitting project, Marlene?
I mean, when I'm coming back home, I'm finishing the Marco Polo. I did the double knitting band, so I'll have
pre-fall
to.
one, because it's like
it can be layered.
Polo.
Yeah.
Wool.
I gotta finish that. It's a test knit. It didn't have like a hard deadline, so I'm still good with timing, but like I want to get it done. Then obviously I think this is a great thing to have done for fall. Yeah. I mean, I'm already like pretty much there. Excuse me.
We said the name of the project, right?
Taratsonic. Yeah,
okay.
I'm pretty much there to like split for the front bits, so I will see how much I get done on the flight. And then I'll start with the project for my partner. I've been putting that off for a long time.
About a year.
About a year.
No, more like half a year.
Yeah, I'll have it finished by the end of this year. And I'm just thinking, like, if I start it now, I have like one chunk of the sweater for each month. And like probably I'll finish it before.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking about doing one project from stash, like older stash, and one new project. So I'm thinking older project would be sweater number 15. That is such a beautiful cable sweater. It will be my first cable project too. So I feel like it's a good thing to start with, because it's like still quite like stripped down, pretty classic. It's a beautiful construction.
And Malika just cast it on, so
she did. That like gave me the
bug.
Whoosh. Yeah. She's doing a beautiful light blue color, but I'm doing a marzipan, like beige, white, beige. And then I'll get like a newish project on my nails, which will be the Traveler hoodie by Andrea Maury. Oh, the sweater 15 is by My Perfect Things Knitwear.
Are you still deciding on if you're going to do the hood or not? Or do a crew neck?
I don't have enough yardage, I think, for the hood.
So you're doing a crew neck.
Yeah, that will be with some new stash I got here in the US that I pre-ordered. I ordered it to be
you pre-ordered it to my house.
Yeah.
Pre-trip.
So it's gonna be my first Pearl Soho yarn project.
Is that one linen quilt or the other one?
It's the good wool.
The good wool.
In like a teddy bear brown.
It's so pretty.
Yeah. So I'm trying to do like light, dark, light, dark, light, dark.
And it's like a little warmer than this, right?
I feel so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that is a lot of planning, and also I'm trying to finish whatever I have on the needles, like alongside of it. I'm thinking about also signing up for another test knit.
Oh.
I told you about it.
Oh, yeah.
So Coley from Paisley Knits, she is going to get her kalilah,
Killarney?
No, it's Killeni. No, Iney, Killarney.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Whatever. I think
thought it was pebbles.
she previously had it. Yeah, maybe she just, I mean, obviously she must have changed the thing, but it's going to be, I think it's like an elevated, like the construction is close to cumulus blouse style.
But
like
it's a texture story.
It's really beautiful textured.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if she's going to pick me, and I'll see how I feel when the test call is actually out there. If I feel like, because I was looking forward to just knit my stuff after knitting a lot of test knits earlier, like spring and like beginning of summer.
But that sweater is like urgently beautiful.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just gotta throw all your plans out the window.
And also I have this cone from Woolly Knit, which is like tweedy, and it's like fingering, and I could just hold it with another cone of Surrey, and it would be a perfect. Now we're just planning ahead, but like
Perfect what?
like beige nets, tweedy
Stockinette sweater.
No, it's not gonna be stockinette. It's gonna be the test knit. I plan it to be a no frill sweater, but like, who needs another no frill sweater?
So doing a beigey tweedy of Coley's pattern. Oh my god, I gotta see this.
We'll see. I mean, she might not pick me, and I might not the day off decide to apply, but like, whatever.
That would be
what are
great
your
pre-fall
knitting projects? I'm putting an S to that, plural, because we cannot just plan
limit it
one.
to
No.
Yeah. Mine is, I'm working on the balloon sweater, doing a little knit along with Coffee Dolls and Alexandra Scarn. So I have cast it on, but put it to the side to finish all my summer projects. So I think that'll be kind of a pre-fall project, doing it this month and next month. And I have my Louvre sweater that I'm going to be kind of working on around the same time. And I think in terms of next cast-ons, do you remember anything I said?
Oh, yeah. Your next cast-on will be your birthday cast-on.
Oh, yeah. Striped pipe dress.
Yeah, which is going to be gorgeous.
Gorgeous. I'm using all Sorel Yarns Autumn in New York tonals. And I'm doing, I think it's a DK weight pattern, but I'm doing a fingering and mohair held together. So it'll be like a little fuzzy, a little more drapey, a little more luxury. So I'm really excited to cast that.
That's gonna be gorgeous, because the colors, whenever you're talking about a new project, I've been like creating outfits in my mind and like just blurting them out there. I'm like, I'm seeing leather boots, I'm seeing a jean jacket, and you're like,
keep it coming.
Yeah. And did you say the Emily?
Yeah, I don't know if that counts as pre-fall.
You can wear a cardigan over it,
I guess. I'm gonna be making the stripy turtle tank, which is a pattern by Emily Curtis, Gently Chaotic Knits.
Yeah.
With my all green Sorel yarn petite palette that I got at Flock. So it's gonna be all
and
green.
She had the perfect
in stash. I had this like deep green called Mighty Pine from the Kinetic Knitter. So that's gonna be the main color, and it's gonna be so cute,
so gorgeous.
So
yeah,
them's the plans.
There is still so many more questions, so maybe we go on with this, because I actually did that. Would you try on the knitted pieces from each other? I did that.
She tried on all my knitted pieces.
Pretty much.
Not all of them, but almost all my sweaters I feel like you tried on.
Yeah. And I took pictures in them so I could insert some maybe over our faces right here.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Love that.
Actually, one of them, because I was planning on doing a V-neck sweater, because like it's the vibe, and when I saw yours and when I saw the pictures of the designer coming up, and there were two, I feel like it was last winter when they came out, I'm not sure, like the hollow sweater by Kadri and the sweater number 14 by My Favorite Things Knitwear.
Yep.
They were pretty similar. Some people preferred the one over the other, whatever.
One's an Erin weight and one's a DK weight.
Yeah, and so I tried on Chelsea's version, which is the number 14, and I had previously decided kind of to do hollow. I don't know really why that was. I think
14 is very oversized, and there's only 3 sizes, so there's not a lot of
and I think Knits by Mandy, who's another one another podcast I enjoy watching, she was talking about how she was doing some sort of comparison, and I think I decided at that point to knit the other one. I'm not sure, but like your version, I think it looked great on me.
Oh yeah.
And some others
Were you wearing this under it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Or like I have a short
Something
sleeve
similar
version. So yeah, that we're enjoying kind of like the layering look too. So that was a huge yes.
Yeah.
And some others didn't fit me quite well because we're different. We knit different sizes, but I enjoyed trying on all of your stuff. A lot of your knitwear.
Yeah. I don't know what I was doing, but I was upstairs and you were just down here having a blast in my closet.
I mean, I asked before. So don't. And you didn't try on any of my stuff. You could though.
I could.
If you wanted to portobello. Yeah, we're pretty much wearing sweatshirts all day. I just took mine off because I was sweating.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's hot.
So we're...
maybe I'll get around to that today.
Yeah, we're pretty much wearing our flock sweatshirt most of the time. And also we got another inverted, like
a tourist Seattle sweatshirt. That's so cute.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, what are your next knitting goals? I think we pretty much answered that with our pre-fall knitting in a way. I want to try cables. We both haven't done like color work really, and we both have like color work projects planned for later on in the year, I feel like.
But yeah, we both have big cable projects coming up. So
what is your
Northland's favorite.
Oh, that is so gorgeous.
Not pre-fall, but
yeah, so we want to try cables and color work, both of us.
And I've done cables, but just on a sock scale, so.
Yeah. Okay, next question. What do you do? What do you knit without how? Rewind. How do you knit without watching? For example, while reading or watching a movie, I always drop stitches. So if you want to learn how to do that, maybe you should watch Knitty Natty's videos, because
she has a video that's like, what is your superpower while knitting? And she gives you so many tips for how to knit without looking. So I would just direct you straight there.
Yeah. For me, it just came naturally in a way that I really enjoy listening or watching YouTube podcasts while knitting. And then I just felt like I was doing more and more watching and less looking at my stitches. I feel like my hands just really pretty much feel how they should like be doing stuff, but that took a lot of time. Not so much practice, like I said, it just came naturally because I was just also listening / watching YouTube podcasts. I had to there were a couple of times where I dropped stitches at the cinema, for example, but like if you have a crochet hook, you can fix that. If it's not too far down, that is no huge problem. But like I said, it freaked me out in the beginning, like the first couple of years I wouldn't have been able to do that. So it took some time. And with reading, like I said, I have this like book stand. I think I got it from Dille Camilla in Germany. It is wooden. There's other like props you can put your book on too, but that was major for me. So obviously I wasn't able to hold my book while knitting because I needed my 2 hands. So that was essential to have something to put my book against and then also hold the pages open. And with that, I felt like it took another kind of like trying to learn, like training that a bit. And also, I don't always do that because sometimes I just want to do one thing. Also, my hands might be tired, and I enjoy, for example, taking the time reading while taking a break from knitting too. So you don't,
because of the pain.
Yeah,
You gotta take breaks.
don't feel like you have to be able to do both. I feel the best way to practice it is just putting on a podcast in the background and then looking at the screen every now and then you'll get into the rhythm of like looking at the screen more, and also having an easy project. Like I don't do cable slash like all the different like I don't do short rows or different like difficult stuff when I
just stocking it around pretty much is the dream.
Yeah, so a body of a project would be a perfect thing to take to a cinema, for example. I even feel like socks, because of the like tiny needles, aren't like ideal, but I've done it before. But like also don't feel like you have to knit everywhere and all the time, even if you really love it. But yeah, just don't worry about it too much. If there's a drop stitch, you can fix it. If you feel like you're in a cinema and you feel like you're losing, for example, the mohair sometimes just doesn't get caught right, just set it down and just enjoy the movie. For example, when I was watching Barbie, at some point I was just so in awe of everything that was going on. I was just setting down my knitting and like just enjoying the movie. But sometimes it just like goes on and on. It's just rhythmic for me now, and just like I don't have to think about it too much. Like knit stitches and purl stitches, everything besides that I'm not comfortable doing. What about you?
I'll just leave that question to you, because I don't really like knitting without looking. I'm usually looking at my knitting. If you can't tell, I'm like 80% of the time during this knit and chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even when I'm watching a movie, I mostly am like listening to the movie, and I like glance up to catch a scene, but most of the time I'm watching what I'm doing, because I don't like to go back and fix stuff. So.
But that was me during my twisted stitches too. So we've been
definitely can't do twisted rib without looking.
No.
With mohair.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. I feel like we should just go through all of them, and if like we have so much footage, we can always just Are you still feeling good?
Yep. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good. I think I dropped some mohair, but
oh no,
it's all good.
Okay. I love the next question. Is Chelsea going to visit you in Germany? I would love to see that knitting holiday. I would love to see that too.
Eventually. International travel takes so much money and time, but that's definitely the plan.
So I was very thankful for Chelsea offering to pay for gas. So she pretty much covered all the expenses on and she has a car. So that was the reason why we were able
to like rent.
Yeah. That was a huge part of us being able to do this trip, was her paying for the driving around, and we're still splitting ferry costs, which were an expense I didn't think of before, because we don't have those close to where I live.
Right.
But I eventually, in the beginning, I had to spend quite a lot of money on the tickets, although I think I got a pretty good deal, because we already booked them like six months before. Yeah. So I got a pretty good deal, although those were layovers, so I had to fly through New York on my way here, and now tomorrow I'm flying through Detroit, which takes a lot longer than like direct flying, which you have to account for too.
A lot of in-between time.
So we've been thinking about doing something inverted, which is kind of our thing.
It's what we do.
That's what we do. So Chelsea would be coming to Germany, staying with me and my partner for a couple of days, and then we could be driving around there, visiting some local yarn shops too.
Maybe go to another festival internationally.
That would mean that we would travel from where I live in Germany to another destination. We're thinking about Barcelona Knit Fest, Yarn Fest, I don't know what it's called.
Me neither, I'm just showing it.
Yeah. There is also, from my favorite yarn shop in Berlin, Bonn Berlin, they've just done their first like knitting weekend. I think it's called Wedding Wool Weekend, and Sari Nordlund was there doing a workshop, so that would be a great next thing to do. But we also,
if we couldn't go to Barcelona, that would be a fun thing to plan around.
To go to Berlin together, and then maybe you'll fly out from there. Like something, we want to do something, but also we're not like deep into planning yet, like for once. And then also we could both imagine like see ourselves going to the UK, maybe go to festival there, because like we both want to go to Ireland, Scotland, that thing. Our friend Maya, who we also met on this trip, I mean, I met her, you knew her before, I was just like friend, like knitting friend with her online before this. She went there recently and it looked gorgeous, like so nice. Oh, we forgot to mention Emily. We both love watching Gently Chaotic Emily Curtis. Yeah. Like I said, we would be forgetting someone.
Yeah.
But
only the person we spent the whole weekend with.
Oh yeah, only the person we just like, yeah, actually like met in person and became friends with.
But yeah, so we want to do like her coming to my house this year, me going to Germany next year, and then the year after, like meet at Rhinebeck would be the dream.
Yeah, that's our 3-year plan.
Yep.
We have planned like more ahead in our knitting, friendship, travel journey than I have for my personal life / any other goals.
Sounds about right. It's me. Just saying.
I don't know what's happening in the next 3 years, like other than I know,
but
we'll try and
Rhinebeck
see
2025.
Yeah. So if you're there, come say hi.
Mark your calendar.
I mean, I think it's nice. We like watching Alexandra and the Copy Dolls, and I just love their friendship. You love their friendship.
Oh yeah.
And like them being like, we know we'll meet again next year. That is very inspirational to us, I think, too. Yes. We realize we've been doing some of the things they do too. So like singing Hamilton in the car. Chelsea's been learning a bit of German.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. But yeah, there is a plan on for Chelsea to visit me, and yeah.
And we'd film the whole thing.
Obviously. I mean, there's a couple of things that are like questions that are pretty close to one another, but I'll just pick out like a couple that I think are really fun and we should definitely answer, and maybe I'll just answer some of the other ones in another video, because I feel like we've been talking for a long time.
Great.
Yeah, so I think this one's really good. This is actually by Jess, who is one of the twins, those twins who knit. Are there similar events to Flock or Rhinebeck in Germany? And like I said, there's just been wool wedding weekend in Berlin, and there's a couple of smaller ones I was actually not aware of, and they're like a lot smaller scale, but two of them actually happen around where I live just recently, or they will happen in the next couple of weeks. There's a new local yarn shop that has just opened in my city, so through that and like talking to people it has like I've become more aware of German knitting, the German knitting bubble, because I was just so into the American / English one. Yeah. So I was not very much looking through like around me. I was looking for yarn shops around me to go visit, but like not so much festivals. So yeah, there is a couple, and they're a lot smaller scale, of course, but like there are so many cute hand dyers in Germany too. For example, the one I've been featuring quite a couple of times, I know my friend Lydia, she also loves them. She has done like recently, or like last year, I cannot speak anymore, and that is a thing I say every video, but like it's true every time.
You reach a point in every video where it's like
words. Yeah, so she did a lot of the rings collection too, from I've got the Peregrine mini sock set from her. Yeah, she's amazing, and she's from Germany, and so there is a couple of really like a huge handful actually. For example, Homespun House, who Crazy Sock Lady, another one I also enjoy watching. She talks about her a lot. She's from like, she lives in Germany too. I think she's from the US, but like there's a lot, and so yeah, I think there is, but I still need to discover them, and I think that's so fun, like not knowing everything about the knitting community already. I feel that's
and now that you've like been to one, you know how like fun it is to just like go up to new dyers and meet people, and just great.
So there's one that is like kind of similar. Felicia actually asked, how did your friendship progress? How did your friendship progress And I love talking to internet strangers too.
Yep.
Yeah. And how did you and Chelsea develop for a friendship from so far away? Another person asked.
I feel like we kind of already answered that.
Yeah. Just talk to one another. Like for us, I think FaceTime was huge.
Yeah.
But also just chatting. Another person asked, and I think that's like up to the like around the same lines of that. How did you become friends? I'd love to grow my knitting circle, but I'm an introvert, LOL. So I feel like
I said, gotta put yourself out there.
Yeah, sometimes it's a bit uncomfortable in the beginning, I feel like, but like it's worth it. And that's like the thing we all took from Flock, I feel like, judging from what people have been writing about it. It's so great. Like, people do not judge. People are not malicious. No one like wants anything bad for you, even if it can seem like people are like strangers over the internet. People sometimes are, I don't know.
It's hard to tell tone.
Yeah.
People are
online.
very busy. Like, I oftentimes just don't get back to DMs because I didn't reply to it in the moment, and then I got busy. Like, it's like 99.9% of the time it's not intentional.
No.
So like, don't take it personally. But on the other side of the same coin, maybe like if someone that you really want to be friends with isn't giving you the same amount of like intention that you're giving them, maybe, you know, move on to somebody else. Like, also, you know, don't force it too much, I guess is what
I
I'm
think
saying.
both things.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Keep trying, but also keep trying with other people too.
Yeah. And like, I think it's so much more important to have a small group of people that you can actually like rely on talking to when there's like tough times, and like when you actually feel down about something. I now know, like, before meeting, I mean, yeah, we got more into like also talking to one another about tough stuff, but like, you will not do that with just any stranger on the internet. So
right.
I feel like it's great to know a lot of people, and that's what I felt like at Flock too, but like having a small circle of like people to rely on when you're going through tough times, or like
that you can
experiencing amazing things. Like,
like now, like if I have like a bad day at my job, like Marlene is now somebody that I can text and be like, oh, I'm having a bad day, I need to pick me up. Like, we can chat about other stuff besides knitting, which is nice. Yeah.
I feel like we should answer these two, and then maybe. Also, how was the trip to the Twilight filmed areas?
That's all you, girl. I don't know anything about it.
It was like half sarcastic and like half fun, but also kind of fun to be in an area, because I'm like I've studied film and media studies. I'm
specifically werewolf interactions is where your focus was for your master's, right? I'm totally trolling her right now.
So I have a master in in the teenage rom-com. It's going. Okay.
Check.
So it did cut off at the end of the Twilight questions. So I think there was only one question that we wanted to answer after that, and we still wanted to get through it, so we're refilming it. Yeah, because we really like the question, and
which is good because we'll probably be more efficient.
Yeah,
than we were the first
or
time.
maybe it's like frazzled and like completely all over the place. So
We'll
there's
see.
still a lot of really great questions, and I'm so thankful for you guys all submitting them. I'll keep them, and we'll maybe answer them at a later point, but we need to get some lunch after this. We're both hungry. And so the last question was, what was the most surprising thing you've learned about each other after meeting? Which, the first thing I said is like, I know what you would say was the most annoying thing to learn about me.
Mm-hmm.
So go on with
anything
that
about
rant.
your personality. It's just my car beeps a lot, and this girl cannot keep her seatbelt on for the life of her. I mean, we're stopped, like we're at full stop, but literally it takes me maybe 2 seconds to like put the car in park and turn it off, and before that happens, she's got her seatbelt on back with a beep, 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 and every time I'm just like, could you wait 1 second?
Yeah, it happened and happened and happened all like
Every day.
almost every day.
Almost every time.
And
you
like,
stopped the car.
I'm just ready for adventure.
And yeah, it's not like
No.
actually annoying, but it's just funny that you literally cannot remember.
I
any
cannot,
time.
no. I cannot learn to just keep buckles. The only times where I was, because I didn't have a lot of signal throughout the trip, I was sometimes like going through your hotspot, but like out
or
and
if you
about.
were knitting something like in the middle of a row.
Yeah, when I was
you'd be distracted.
preoccupied, like with my phone or my knitting, I did not do that. But when I was like eager to get out of the car, I'm like, "Deet," and then it's like, "Deet, deet," and we're like, I knew the moment I did it, I was like,
Chelsea's about to blow.
yeah,
No, not really.
Yeah. And so we're really not able to come up with something surprising, I feel like.
Except for your thing about me.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't surprising. I was saying, I already knew
That I sing all the time.
Oh.
That wasn't a surprise.
Oh yeah, I was. I just forgot again. That's like refilming doesn't make any, don't do it, guys. I'm so happy we didn't lose more footage because I wouldn't have been able to recall anything. Okay, yeah, so I did not know living with Chelsea for 2 weeks would be like living in a musical. Because she basically, anytime someone like says something
constant,
whatever, random, she goes like, I need to come up with a good example.
So people talk in like a natural melody, like their voices go up and down, and sometimes I'll just notice it, and then I just sing the melody of the notes that their voices made.
The notes that their voices made.
Kind of like that.
I just cannot do it the way she does it. I'm just like a dork trying to sing, and she's like, Natasha Bedingfield over there, like just piping out. Oh, remember the time when you said something and then I started singing it, and then you're like, I love you. This is my favorite song. Why do you know Ashley Tisdale?
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
That was surprising, like both ways, because I didn't know you loved her so much. You didn't know I would know her songs.
No, I feel like that's kind of a niche, is like Ashley Tisdale's pop albums and like
solo albums.
Yeah.
What was the thing again?
Well, because we were like, I think we were winding up yarn and like something happened and I was like, it's all right. And
it's all right, okay. And you're like,
I literally almost fell on the floor. I was like, how do you know that song? And it's everything to me. I've loved it since I was 18 or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was the moment I knew we would be friends forever. When she sang Ashley Tisdale, it's all right, it's okay to me. Literally.
And like, I love to sing.
She was like freaking out about how much I was freaking out. She's like,
yeah. Your sister was freaking out. Your mother was freaking out. Everyone knows what
that song means.
It was such a great moment.
It was awesome.
I was so happy I did that. Like, and then didn't know how much it meant to you. I was just like, I love that song too.
It was cosmic.
Yeah.
Then we listened to it on our drive to Seattle.
That was surprising.
Yeah. That was
take 3.
Take 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there was many more things where I was like, oh, I did not know that about you. I mean, yeah, like
we had some like personal talks where we like, learned more about each other.
Yeah, for sure. But it wasn't like a surprise.
Yeah.
Like I knew that you were close with your family, but like seeing you interact with them, like seeing you with your siblings, your parents, I like got to know more about that. But like I already knew
like I
that.
talk about them all the time to you. But yeah, seeing us all together.
And like getting to know them too.
Yeah.
Your father didn't like want me to leave too.
Dad loved her.
Yeah, and
after the first day, he like texted the family chat and he was like, Marlene is so easy to get along with and talk to.
That is like how you get my heart, like parents.
Yeah, and he's in Canada right now, so he already went on a trip and they had a nice goodbye hug.
Yeah,
like second dad.
They want to adopt me.
Yeah,
in a way,
definitely.
I don't think my mom would be okay with that, but like having a second family or like a third family, because like
Hannah's family is your second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, having a third American family. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Like her mom took care of us so well. She was basically making the yummiest food throughout the whole 2 weeks.
She do be doing that.
Muffins. I had the best salmon of my life 2 nights ago.
Crab mac and cheese.
Oh my god.
Homemade yogurt, homemade granola, homemade chai.
And like I was talking to her about it because like that's what we bonded over
While I was napping.
because I like to cook and bake. So yeah, it was just so nice. Your sister's so nice. We crashed with her sister when we were in Seattle.
So fun.
Yeah. Everything was just so fun. And I feel like we could be going on for hours.
Yeah.
Because we have so much to talk about. But I
also
also feel
have
like
to go to taco time.
Yeah. We gotta go to taco time now. And like this is not gonna be the last time we will film a video. That is a promise to you guys and to us. Yeah. I feel like we talked about me being such a fluent English speaker too, and like that is not in this take, and I'm mad about it.
Well, she speaks really good English, and you know that's true when you can make jokes in another language, and she's so funny and witty, and I already knew that about her, but seeing it happen in real life was just like extra funny.
Yeah, I would have never thought that you think I'm that funny,
She's really
and
funny.
like. Oh yeah, did we say that the one thing we're surprised about is that we're both super weird?
Yeah, but in a funny way, like
in like a we think it's funny way at least.
Yeah, but I think maybe I didn't know how and I don't know if outgoing is the word, but like loud you could be. She doesn't seem like a very loud person, but she can be loud in a good way.
Yeah.
Like we make jokes and noises and voices all the time. Like
Yeah, I feel like we're just on
we're
the
singing
same
all the time,
wavelength
doing funny voices
about that. Like
yeah.
we have a similar kind of humor.
Yeah.
100p. 100p. Now my German gets weird because I'm like
doing my American pronunciation.
Yeah. I'm just trying to.
Which is poor.
No, it's not.
Anyway,
mates.
think we
out
nailed
there.
it.
I think so too. Oh yeah, the accents.
So many
Another
accents.
thing.
So many accents. I'm really sorry to everybody out there. Oh, that was smooth.
I can be so smooth. You mean that kind of humor?
Well, I think that's it.
Yeah.
So go ahead and outro your channel here.
Oh, how do I do that again?
Like, follow, subscribe.
I do not want to leave, but also we're leaving. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way through this point of the video, let's just like
Gold star.
yeah, you're
True friend.
oh yeah, we also wrote a song. Maybe it's gonna see the light of day
maybe
someday. But
it's actually good
for us. It's about our friendship.
Yeah, and it's cute.
It's country. And we
Country adjacent.
yeah.
We talked about this all on my channel.
Yeah, we came up with a band name. We're pretty much the regional squid right here. Yeah, we gotta stop talking now. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, hit this like little heart because like our hearts are so full.
Like button.
Oh,
We're on YouTube.
oh, we're not on Instagram. That's true. Okay, and thank you so much for like coming on our journey. I hope you enjoy the content we've been putting out. We have tried not to focus on it too much and just enjoy our time together.
Yep.
But like also creating content to look back on
And the memories.
is the best. And if you like have been part of this, thank you so much. If we met you at Vlog, it's been the best time.
We love you. We
Yeah.
miss you.
We want to be
Let's
friends
do it
with
again.
you. Bye.
Is it recording?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Marlene's channel. I'll be interviewing her today. My name is Judy.
You know this is going to be the introduction.
No, I
Yeah.
thought we were filming a test clip.
I'll just put in as bloopers.
My name's not Judy. It's Chelsea.
You're hilarious.
Okay, so now should you stop recording and then look at it?
I just want to listen to you speak.
I'm done. I'm sat.
Okay. Okay. Bye, guys. Aggressive thumbs up and gentle high five. Bye from True Lean
Charlene.
True
True knits.
Marlene and Charles doing the PNW.
Locking
pretty
around
much.
the PNW.
Hashtag friends.
Over and out.
Bye.